Yo, welcome back guys. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Sanawe Goni. Welcome back. Let's talk tactics. Today I want to be talking about the most celebrated position in football. That's right. So we're going to be talking about the striker. More in particular, what should I be playing with? One striker or two?
You know, for me, it's all about performance.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, we're going to be talking about whether you should be playing with one striker or two. Hopefully, for players, I can answer the question for you out there. Should you be playing as a lone striker, or do you actually need a partner with you? I first want to touch on the most important things that a striker should have. Before you bring in any of your speciality, for me to consider you a striker, you're going to need to have confidence. You got to have confidence, man. Otherwise, it doesn't look like you're about to score any goals. Two, you've got to have that touch. That one touch has to be quality. Whether it's the first time shot, whether it's the pass, whether it's a little dribble, dink, anything. Give me that quality touch. Shot accuracy. You need to be able to hit the target. I'm sorry. Why would I be talking to you as a striker if you can't hit the target? You've also got to have that positioning, that innate ability to find the right space at the right time for you to be able to finish however you can. Most important, you've got to be able to have a clean, powerful strike on that ball, mate. Another very important factor when deciding whether you should have one striker or two is the type of striker and the quality that he is. Let's have a tactical run through at the type of striker that you will find in the game. The first type of striker that we have is a speedster. Now, this chap knows on the foot race, he's got it. He gets onto his bicycle and he moves. There's no defender who's going to touch him. Typically loves to have this space open for him, because once this ball goes through, he loves to just collect, finish it. The type of striker that we have is a poacher. Now, this guy will love to get himself not just into the box, but into the 6 yard. Really hassle players here. Make sure that he is known. When that ball comes running right through, he's waiting, getting himself into the right position just for a tap in. Third type of striker that you have is the target man. So that's the guy that you know when you aim at him and he receives the ball, he's able to control it, hold that play, and play a pass that is just small and precise. So if the midfield's getting ball, he's hitting him. He can handle this pressure. He doesn't really care, because what he's waiting for is that little pass that's just going to open up everything. Or, as a target man, just get himself into the box. And you know he's got that ability to just finish. Fourth type of striker is the dribbler. Now this guy's just going to go with the ball. He's not going to pass. Once he's got his head down, he is moving. And he's only got one thing in target. Let me beat as many people as I can and let me get that goal. It's just going to come one. Next. Find himself right through. Why would I play with two strikers? For me, the first thing is I might need more than one type of striker in my game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play two strikers with very different styles of play, but can complement each other very nicely. So I would love to have a target man placed with a speedster. That way when this man gets hit with the ball and he's able to hold up play, I've got this man who can make runs through and they can just connect with each other. Any type of complement that can really use each other. So if I've got a quality striker and he's only got one ability, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assist us in attack and I'm going to bring a different type of striker into the formation. Another consideration to play with two strikers instead of the one, can they both defend? In the modern day of play, playing with two strikers can be seen as defensive. This only helps if you have a defensive minded team and if your strikers can play their defensive duty as well. You would hate to have only one striker be able to press and the other one is lazy. It leaves your side very lopsided. So if they can both work their defense, then use both strikers. then the big advantage to playing with 2 strikers instead of the 1 is on the counter attack, you're in a position that allows you to have 4v4 on the break. And that can be very advantageous if you know how to use it. Now, what are the considerations when you're playing with 1 striker? The first thing for me is the type of striker that you have and their quality. Can they play 3 type of striking roles? Can they be a poacher? Can they be a speedster? Can they be a target man? Can they be able to be a dribbler? So if your striker has 3 of the 5 abilities, feel free to play with 1 and let that striker dictate in the moments of play when he wants to be effective with which type of play. Second thing that needs to be taken into consideration when you are playing with 1 striker is the striker's enthusiasm to defend. Strikers love to go forward. Very few of them love to come back. If you've got a striker whose defensive enthusiasm can only give you 1 press, play with that 1 striker. But make sure that he uses that 1 press effectively, and while he presses, the rest of the team can set up in defense. Now, the last consideration to be made when playing with 1 striker is the ability to pull defenders out of position. In the modern game of play, a lot of space is required to break down defensive structures. So if your striker has the ability to pull defenders out of their position and create spaces in behind, that's phenomenal. If your striker loves to sit away from the defensive line in that space between the midfield and the opposition defense, that's fantastic. But they've got to know how to and when to. So if your striker has that quality and able to move players out of position, or when they choose to stay in position, he can move into the space, then make sure he can take that advantage. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Sanawe Goni. Please click that like button if you enjoyed this video. Comment if you have any questions, and subscribe to catch me next week.